Hi, how are you? So, thanks for reaching out to me. I get a lot of questions all the time about the same topic. And as my schedule gets more and more busy, it's very difficult to make that time to talk to each person individually. So I wanted to do this video as a way for me to still connect with you because I really want to help you and answer those questions. But even if we don't get to talk, at least I am still able to give you answers. So I hope this video helps you. And if after listening to this video you still have a question, a specific question, please just send it to me. But at least as a start, hope this works. So I'm going to use this opportunity to answer the frequent questions I receive, and I have some of those questions written out. So here it goes. The first one I have is reading it out. It says, "There's a strong demand. Is there a strong demand for change management experts across Canada, or even Toronto, or even globally?" With the current crisis and situation and COVID, this has probably increased the demand for change specialists. But is there enough opportunity to accommodate new entrants like me? So this is a very difficult situation or question to answer. So let's look at it first of all globally. Let's look at jobs as a whole. Jobs as a whole right now is evolving. New types of jobs are coming up. Jobs that existed before, some of them no longer exist, and some jobs still remain. Right now, we're in a place where everybody's talking about change. But how is that going to really translate to organizations, how they hire and how they recruit people? How is it going to translate to the type of projects that people have? There's likely going to be a demand. I mean, over the years, we've steadily seen an increase for change specialists, organizational change management specialists, consultants, and the likes of it. So yes, there is an increased demand. How that translates and who they hire, that's a whole different question. For new entrants, it's a little bit difficult and it's a little bit tricky because sometimes when an organization is going through change and they want to implement changes, usually in a project environment, and they would usually want to bring somebody who already has experience to help them with that change, to deliver it. So if you're a new entrant into the change management area or the change management field and you don't have a lot of experience, I would usually advise that you start working within an organization. So first of all, look for a full-time role as a change management specialist or as a change management entrant, or even in project management or business analyst. Just get into an organization. The larger the organization, the better. You tend to find that most change management specialists or entrants usually start from within the organization, where the organization is willing to give them an opportunity. One of the advantages of organizations having change management folks that are already within the existing organization is that they have a starting point. Those folks have organizational culture experience, because one of the key success factors when it comes to change management is understanding the culture in which you're going to implement that change, so that you know how to engage with the people within the organization. So they're often willing to give people within the organization an opportunity to get started in the change management area because they're already bringing in the experience of being familiar with the organization. So if you have the opportunity, look for what change management roles exist out there and just try. You just don't know. And also now, because of the whole COVID crisis, the uncertainty, a lot of people are starting to work online. They're starting to look for people who do remote work. So expand your horizon. It doesn't just have to be only Toronto. It doesn't have to be only the city in which you live in. Start to apply for jobs across Canada, even in the US, or places you could easily travel to. Start and then see where it goes. And I would always suggest to people, subscribe to job alerts to see what the demand is. So the best way to determine if there's a demand is if you're subscribed to a job alert. So you can subscribe to job alerts from LinkedIn. You can subscribe to job alerts from Google. So the frequency in which you receive job alerts in that area, just use a broad field like change management. It doesn't have to be change specialist, just put change management. And you will get that as a keyword. The frequency in which you get the type of roles you're getting will give you an idea of what the demand is out there. So hope that answers your first question. The second question I have is, and I get this quite frequently, is I've got over 10 years comms experience. I did a lot of work to support change management throughout for clients in various sectors. In Canada, is it essential to have a change management certification to break through? If yes, should I look at one offered by leading university, or does it have to be CCMP from ACMP? So, having comms experience is very valuable because a key component of change management is communications. You don't have to have communications to have change management. Those two are independent. But in my experience, I found that there's a very, very strong tie. I've seen roles whereby they want a change manager that also has communication experience. I've seen some roles where communication is the main thing out of it. And I've seen very large transformation projects where they want a change manager and they want a communications person. So having the communications experience is a very good skill to have. It's very beneficial. Because you're new to the market, you want to give yourself a leg up. So if you're going to an organization and you're saying, I really don't have change management experience, but I want to get into change management, at least have a change management certification. In terms of where to get your change management certification, there are so many. I know CCMP because I'm familiar with ACMP. I've also done change leadership. I've studied that at Cornell University. To me, it's about finding out what you really want and what organization will provide that to you. For instance, I do online training for practical change leadership. This is where I help educate people on what change leadership is and change versus what change management is. This is a course that even experienced change managers often take because there's so many parts to what change management is. There's a change leadership side, there's the change management tools, methodologies, part of it. But right now, what you need is to demonstrate and show that you have at least the knowledge as a starting point. If you don't have the experience, you need to have this, you need to have that certification and knowledge and be able to demonstrate that, yes, I have this. Yes, I can get into the market. Yes, this will help me. So determine, are you looking for knowledge? Are you looking for certification? Are you looking for a combination of both? And go out there and see what is best. CCMP is great. I like that because, it doesn't say you have to take a particular program of that. You can take different programs as long as you can show the change how you can tie it back in there. There are quite a few out there. I don't want to start naming different ones because there are quite a bit out there. It's really determining which one you want. Are you trying to get the knowledge of it? You can do an online program, which I do at your convenience. If you're looking to say, I want a certification from a recognized university because it will give me more credibility, you can go for a university. If you're looking for something like a certification, ACMP, CMI, ProSci, there are different ones out there. Another question I have here is, in general, what would you say is the best way to position oneself to land opportunities in change management in Canada? And I would say even across board, anywhere. I'm absolutely open to entry or mid-level positions to build my experience. That's really great. And that's a question I get asked a lot. People, how do I get into it? I alluded to some of this and answered it earlier. It's about sometimes just getting into an organization. Getting into the project management area is also very helpful. Getting into the business analysis area is also helpful. That's one way to get around it. It's getting your leg into the organization, or even in HR as well. Those have fields that have very strong connections to change management because sometimes they're project focused, they're people focused, they're organizational focused, and that's where often at times the change is happening. The change is happening in that environment, and that's where there's an opportunity for you to get in and, experience it. Most of the people who are found that have that starting off in project change management is that they have that opportunity within the organization to grow into that role. So that is often the easiest way to get into it, or the fields that I've mentioned. I also would say get into organizations like ACMP, CMI. Be involved in those organizations, because you can create networks of people who are doing the same thing. So if you want to be a change manager, be around change managers. And what better way to be around change managers than to be within the midst of those, where you're learning, where you're getting mentorship, where they share job opportunities. So be very involved in those type of organizations, and it's likely to be some help for you there. You just never know what will happen. I'm a member of ACMP, and being a member of ACMP, I've built beautiful relationships with that organization. I have mentored for ACMP, mentored people coming into the field, and it's just absolutely awesome. So when you're a member, you can get someone to mentor you in that change management space. It's very particular to It's unique to ACMP Toronto and ACMP Ontario, which they're going to be pretty much soon. So that's the unique thing I love about it. They really get their members to help people coming into the field to grow. Very interactive. So there are different ways. But if you want to be an orange, you know, plant yourself with the oranges as a seed. So I would maybe that's not a good analogy, but if you want to just be in the midst of people, that's really good. Increase your network. Follow a lot of people too on LinkedIn who are in change management area, because what you find, and I see as well, is that some people post jobs from their organization. So follow people like that, join groups that are related to change management, be in that space, and you start to see things that are more in that space. And I hope that answers your questions. It's always a key questions I get, and that's why I'm really doing this video, and hope it helps you. Change management is a great space. If you have a passion for people, if you have a passion for helping to drive change, but you also have to be resilient. It's not easy ABC, because even you as yourself have to go through a change process, you know. So if you have any questions, send it my way, and I will see how it is that I can help you. I have one-to-one strategy sessions on my website. You can go to my website if you want to do a one-to-one strategy with me. You can, by all means, go to my website to book that session. If you want an online course that will help you really develop your competencies, because I say change management is an art and it's a science. So if you've done the change management courses around methodologies, frameworks, and all of that, and you want to build your the competency, the art side of it in terms of leading change and what it really means, whether to apply it as a project manager, HR, people manager, someone new to the organization, or to get comfortable and confident, the online course I have there, which is Practical Change Leadership, might be of help to you. And this is me wishing you all the best. Best of luck in everything it is that you want to do, and take care. Bye.